pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice. Yeah, everybody see everything? Everybody sign in? No.
You can't just walk.
Okay, roll call, please.
Roll call, Bud? Barb?
Here.
Alan Robbins? Pamela?
Here.
Leslie? Ken?
Present.
Alan Michelson?
Here.
Jim? Thank you.
We've all had time to read the minutes. Are there any questions or corrections about the minutes? If not, we need a motion to accept them.
Move to accept.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The bills, we have all the bills.
Two late additions on the bills, revised total, 48,131.18.
What were the
Stone, river gravel from Smith Brothers, and light fiber issued their May billing. 48,131.18.
I move that the accounts be paid from the appropriate accounts as published and amended.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, now we're gonna, go to, tonight is the night that we have the land auction, so we are going to do that.
Ready?
Yep.
Okay, the two pieces of property that are owned by the village that are up for auction are lots 297, which is right at the corner of Chippewa and Garmin, the southeast corner, and a lot right next to it, which is lot number 298. Each of these lots is not buildable by deed restriction, and we'll start with lot, I'm sorry, was there a minimum bid of $500? Minimum bid is $500 per lot. So let's start with lot 297, which is right on the corner.
Could you describe again what the non-buildable means?
It means you can't build a garage, a shed, or a house on it, a building.
What about fences and parking and things like that?
Parking maybe, sure, but
Hard to have there.
storage, I suppose, fences, yes. Ornamental gardens, benches, those aren't buildings. So the idea of the restriction is for buildings to be prohibited. Any other questions?
That's different than what was described previously, right?
I'm sorry?
Isn't that different than was described previously? Because the fine part about that property and was you could not park a trailer. You cannot have a driveway.
Well, I think there's an ordinance that states there's no parking on lots, only on driveways or parking bans in the village. I believe that's a separate independent ordinance.
So if you bought it and put a driveway on it, you could put a car on it or a camper?
You can only put a driveway in if it's leading to a residence or a garage.
Can you park trailers on the property?
I would say no. Under current ordinances. Any other
Did you
questions?
say
So you're saying you cannot do it, or you can?
Can't.
Cannot.
Any other question? Chicken coops? No.
any
Silos?
chickens in the village?
Right. Any other questions? Okay, is anybody here to make an opening bid on lot 297 on the corner? Name, please,
Dennis Vaughn,
and what's your bid?
$500.
Okay, we have a minimum bid of $500. Does anybody want to bid 600, 700? Does anybody else want to bid on this lot? Wish I had your hammer.
I have it.
If I had a hammer, I'd use it right now. Going once, twice, 3 times sold.
Easy.
Congratulations.
Is anyone here anyone here to place a bid on the lot next to it, which is lot 298? And your bid, sir? Anybody else here to bid on that lot? Anybody? Going once, twice, 3 times, hold again. See me after the meeting. And during the meeting, we should pass an ordinance approving this bid, and accepting it. Okay?
Alan, I've had a couple people call me about those parcels and, asking about the trailers that are already parked down there. And why they're allowed to park trailers down there. And I had someone that was going to bid on the property, but hoping for trailers. So right now, there's a couple trailers down there.
Yeah.
They're not adjacent to a house or
They're on Chippewa Road property.
they're on Garmin.
Well, we got something we should look into in zoning. There is an ordinance in the Code of Miscellaneous Ordinances, which I don't have with me, about parking on lots. Are you familiar with that, Jim?
Temporary parking?
Yeah, parking on lots. You can't park a tractor trailer, certain other things.
As far as I remember, there's
Yeah, I don't have it in front of me.
temporary parking for guests or holidays or whatever. He's had parking down there for a while. The landscaping. And he's been using that to take in and out wood and things like that.
So there probably needs to be a clarification. I know that he's been working down there and doing some work and cleaning up the property, but in doing so, they are leaving trailers parked there. So when this parcel came up, someone said, well, it appears you're allowed to leave trailers parked there. So.
I'd have to check that ordinance. I don't have an answer
Okay.
for you right now.
And I don't want to inconvenience anyone, but
Right.
if you're not allowed to park there, I guess at the end of the day, the trailers have to be moved. I'm just saying, a couple people called me about this.
Well, I'm gonna have to look that ordinance up. I know it's in the code. Miscellaneous ordinances. Sarah, I don't have it with me.
What about tents? I'm just curious.
You want to camp there, like,
You're camping, but that would be kind of cool. I didn't, probably.
Well, people
Yeah,
are allowed to camp in their backyard if they want.
Sure.
It's not that big, but if you got some friends, so really,
what you can't do is put up a tent, which is a permanent structure.
yeah, just a temporary thing for a weekend, day.
Summer.
Mhm.
Yes, sir.
Once upon a time, our illustrious mayor told us this is a boating community. You will have boats and trailers all the time. And there's nothing that we can do about it.
I think she said boats and boat trailers. Yeah. Yeah, it is a boating.
Like
community.
Kirby's on the corner has a boat trailer with the boat on it. It's been sitting there for well over a year.
Well, I don't think it's illegal.
these aren't boat trailers.
It's what?
These aren't boat trailers we're talking about.
But if that trailer's not allowed there, then I don't want the boat trailer next to my house. You're on this huge can of worms here.
No, they can.
Huge can of worms.
Isn't it gonna make a complete and total difference considering the property is adjacent to the person who actually just bought it and it's all going to be connected in one owner? It's now their yard.
Is their house attached?
Steve's.
I don't know how that, I don't
Well,
know.
they own a house on the property right next door and now these two parcels are right on top of each other. I mean, you could get it resurveyed and
So
it's
there,
all one parcel.
so the house parcel is attached to these parcels, to your vacant parcels?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I don't know.
That makes a difference too, doesn't it?
Yeah. I thought their house was up around the corner.
I thought that too. I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
their house is not attached to these vacant.
Yeah.
I apologize. I
Because
thought
we
everything.
weren't able to, they can't like encompass it and
Right.
draw the line.
So if I have a vacant lot next to my house, if I wanted to put a trailer on that, I would not be allowed to do it.
If it was attached to your house, you would, because.
Right next door to my house.
But if you own, like you used to own a lot across the street from you, you couldn't park it.
And
Because you didn't, your house.
Thought we made an exception years ago for,
Boat
like,
boat trailers.
no, I thought we made an exception, like, for like across the street, like what I used to have,
Yeah.
that, up on, Rock Ridge. Brain Park. Rocker, the artist, what's her name, the painter.
Oh.
No, they have.
Oh, Kathy Alliance.
Alliance,
They own
yes.
they own the garage across the street, right?
Right, so they were able to put a garage there, even though they don't have a house on that property. I thought we had made an exception for them for that. And because it's,
So,
That has,
I'm only.
mine would have
clarifying
one like that
because-
too, that has to be like basically sold with the house. I mean, you can't be,
right,
that's not a
yeah, there's
separate
a
thing.
restriction on it.
There's a restriction.
right.
And I'm only clarifying because I had multiple phone calls about it. I don't have any knowledge of it.
I'm
I'm
just-
just stating a fact
Yeah.
for someone else that asked me about it. So I'm just the messenger.
No, I'm not, so I'm not, I'm just looking for clarification myself. That,
Yeah, we need to know.
I mean,
Okay.
we make that exception for.
Well, why don't you zoning people find out about it and report back next month?
Yeah.
And in the meantime, we stop to have this. We are now going to go to safety, so we don't hold.
Okay,
And then
let's do
if you
that.
want to resume this in zoning, we can, or they can look it all up
That's a
and then
great idea.
everybody look it up and be ready for a test next month. Okay, safety on.
Sure. We have, Officer Carhay with us here tonight. Hours worked this month, 76 hours, projected 80. Single within the green zone. Miles logged 491, fuels, 30.7 gallons. Probably like 26, Yarborough 25, Lamb 25. Just quickly over deputy activities, animal complaints, barking dog, loose canine 3, domestic 1, medical alarm 1, juvenile complaint 1, theft larceny 2, mental 1, patrols 135, Victor Watch 34, suspicious persons 2, abdominal pain 1, cancel call, accidental form 1, assist from other agencies 1, building checks 2, chest pain 6, criminal damage mischievous, vandalism 1, follow 2, off tire inspection 1, repossession of vehicle 1, sick person 1, suspicious circumstances 1, traumatic injuries 1, traffic stops 3, lines down, no fire department 1. Chest pain, 6 hours. Must have been follow up on fire department issue. Or do you know that? Is it? Well, it was, it's just reported, these are out 911, but chest pain 6 incidents, which is kind of high and unusual.
The rest of
They're the same person, or the same different people.
205, 56, put them off. Any comments that you wanted to make, Jim? Anything going on?
Nothing of importance.
Anything, questions from council?
I have a question for you.
Sure.
This one, we have here about the animal complaint. I don't know if you follow the Facebook page for the village, but there's been multiple complaints about these 3 dogs that I think live over by the park entrance.
I had a call, I called them and,
Okay, so the continuous story is they call the police say it's the animal warden says it's the SPCA, and they all keep passing the buck and nobody's doing anything, so.
I would have caught them, I was gonna take them to the dog pound, but they took off down by the lake and then went into the brushes, and I couldn't see them anymore, they wouldn't come to me, so I mean.
I think they've been out and attacked a couple dogs here and there, and it does honestly sound like everybody's passing the buck on this one. So
I give them that. Yes.
whose job would that be to round these dogs up, in your opinion? The police, the SPCA, or the dog warden? Because they really, it sounds like they have
So if they call the dog warden and not call us, I mean, we won't know about the dog warden, we go out there, they have to catch poles, they would try to catch it and take it back to the dog warden. If, we get dispatched any dog call, animal call, if it's a non-violent issue, like just dogs barking, whatever, we'll handle it. If it's a loose dog, we'll handle it. And then if it's something that it can wait till the next day where they go ahead and call the dog warden and they'll do that. If it's something like a loose dog, though, we're not gonna have the dog. If I'm able to catch the dog, I have to throw them in the back of my cruiser. Up to the dog wardens, they have even out after hours, they have cages in there behind the building that you can put the dogs in, and they have food and water, and then the next day when they open up, they'll deal with the dogs. So we're not handle that call. I would have tried, I did try to catch the dog, I called them over, they had tags on, she took off the other way.
Yeah, I think they live over by the park entrance. Seems to be a lot of conversation about this.
Put arrested. Be on their own, put a dog in there, if they.
If you guys do catch a loose dog, and it's got tags, you can call someone, check them. If it doesn't, you can take it up to the dog, anybody can take the dog up there, there's cameras on the property there, so they'll see, your plate as you're coming in, so they'll know who you are, that's a big deal. And then, you could bring the dog, put it in the cage in the back, and they'll deal with it the next day.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, but the one in Deerview, you guys are curious where it's at, Deerview and 162, I believe.
Right next to the.
Yeah.
District.
Yeah.
Mr. Glass.
Has anything come of the theft of the house next door to me?
That I know. If it goes to detectives, it all goes quite running. But I've not, there was a theft of tools, I believe, near the Glass house on
Rustic.
Rusty, aware of anything there, Jim?
The 271, what
Did you call, did you make a report? Who's the homeowner here there? That's
the guy by the name of Romanoff, Matt Romanoff?
So is he here now?
No, he had
So you would know
$75 with the tools stolen from him in the middle of the day.
if he, they would keep in contact with him, they won't let anybody else know he's the victim of the crime, so the detective would contact him with any updates. That's why I was asking if he's here now, but he would be able to tell you if I don't know. To be honest with you.
Why you wouldn't call it? Yeah, why would you report that? How would you report that to you? Why would you?
No, if they did report it.
They did.
I'll do a report, we take a report, and then we give the, architect report number to the person that reports it. And then any follow-up and stuff between that officer and that person, so if I was called out there, I should know. But the deputy that did go out at the end of the report, he's the one that handles the follow-up, any interviews, reports to the detective bureau. He's the one that handles the case, so I don't have, if I didn't handle that, I would personally know about it. But one other thing I'd like to know too, any report is public now, so if you guys are curious, you can call to the sheriff's office, or you can go up there Monday through Friday between 8 and 3, and it's a public records request. You can see any report, any call, and they'll give you the actual reports. For that, too, if anybody's curious about and then if it is still something under investigation, it'll say on the report, you will be able to read everything, it'll say investigation pending.
Any other questions? Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Appreciate that. We'll move on. We have, assistant chief
Chief is at, Bowling Green this week, doing a fire investigation course, for 4 days, it's pretty intense up there, so I don't think he can make the trip back. Make this meeting tonight, so I think they're all day long in this class. First page, 69 incidents, last month. And it says, well, we were in Chippewa Lake 9 times. For part of that total. Rocket Township 45 times and, County of Glen 6 times and the rest of the 1s and 2s. Around our mutual aid places. 75% of our calls were EMS calls. 13% service calls, 4% hazardous conditions, one false alarm, one false alarm, and 4 good intent calls were, like I said, 6%, white on yellow, red. Daytime, nighttime, pretty even, 37, 32 calls, either here or there. Our timeout is still about 2 minutes, just a little over 2 minutes. And round times 5 minutes, about 5.5 minutes. For all calls. Mutual aid, where we went, it looks like we got one mutual aid for the month, and we gave. So Chatham, York, Medina, Chatham, Lodi, Westfield, Seville, Lafayette, Westfield. So those were all incidents that we went to other mutual aid, other municipalities. That turns quickly because in the last couple of days we got a few. We get a call and then we get a call 10 minutes later for a full arrest, whether it's just bad time. So I think Seville came up with that. It's just this past Saturday. Chief's report on what we were up to as far as other than runs. We had he has a community advisory committee. And they met on April 25th, and they did some demonstrations on EMS and CPR and things like that. Pancake breakfast was fantastic this year. Yes, we made about $20,000.
Great.
A lot more money than we've ever paid. I don't know what we did. I know we increased the price. We had over 2,000 people that came, paying people, so we were over 600 twice, and just under 600 once, and I'm not sure what the last one was, 520 or 5.25 or something like that. So that was great. We're gonna use the money wisely, believe me. See our. Last month, we had a girl lives in our township and she came home from Seattle. She was in Seattle Children's Hospital because she had a rare type of cancer. And she was up there for 6 weeks, I guess. With her dad, mom was there a little bit too, but mostly her dad. And anyway, they came home one evening. We met right from the airport. We met them on Route 18 out there by 71 and paraded her home. It was pretty nice. Real nice turnout from residents, and they had people on the square, front of the church, by the cemetery, and especially by our house. Had several trainings going on. We had guys come in from the State Fire Marshal's office, and they did a pump operation course. Pumping is, you can do pumping in a pump. It's not that complicated. I can teach it pretty quick, but these guys will really teach you some in-depth things. And I didn't get to even sit for all of it. In-depth things that have some of those things that come in handy. It's not stuff you have to use all the time. We're very instructional. We had a few people that went through EVOC training, which is 16 hours of driver training. We get all the time to get these fire rescue, and it's just reports from all over the country about what other fire departments are doing. There's crashes all the time. It's just, so we're really trying to avoid that, teaching our people, especially our young people. I think they get behind it. And, you're young, think you can drive 90 miles an hour in a pumper and not stop. Of course, that's not the case. You have to really teach them, like, hey, blind corners, stop signs, red lights. You just can't plow through and drive a little bit sensibly, not So that's what that's all about. You guys went to a fundamental leadership course near Ohio Park Street. And a few more people went to an EMS symposium down in town. We also had, which is not here because it's just after, we had 2 people get through firefighter 1, put on by the career center. And Noah Smith. Yeah. Noah Smith. And Mike Sadetsky went through fire inspector course. It's 80 hours. It's pretty intense. And he's all done. He passed all his tests and everything. So good to have another inspector around.
Katie Parker, is she the veterinary?
Yeah.
She's a full vet that's going through the park.
Yeah. And so right now she's an EMT. And Kelly is, she's going through fire school and she wants to get 100 on every. I tease her a lot about it. She's mad if she gets a 98, but obviously she's a pretty sharp person and she's gonna go to paramedic school. You're gonna right into firefighter 2. It takes about another 6, 7 weeks. I'll start that up here in another week, so she'll get through firefighter. She's done with firefighter 1, she'll get through firefighter 2, and in the fall, she's gonna start paramedic school. I guess that she's gonna breeze right through it, I would imagine, but be glad to have her, and she already, I mean, being a vet. I mean, some people say vet school is hard to get through. I mean, she did that. I'm sure she did it. And all our preventive maintenance has been done on our vehicles. We're starting hydrants this month, and we will, you want to put it on Facebook, we do start in the village. I'll make sure we call you, text you or something, let you know.
That's what you should call Leslie.
Who?
Leslie Burns, put it on Facebook.
Yeah, it started Friday and then water department said you're not allowed to do it on Friday. They said it was a state law.
Why?
I never heard that before. Thing is, we found one that broke, and they said, well, it's gonna be broke till Monday. So, and then today, our crews were out, they had 3 runs in the morning. The first run they were on, they waited at the hospital 2 hours to get a bed. So our first line crew was out of service for 2 hours in the hospital waiting for I don't know what's going on right now. Being busy, but we're busy today. We did get our grant from the state farm marshal for $13,940, and that covers 4 sets of turnip gear. So that's a big boost to our budget. Any questions? I talked a long time.
Thank you, I really appreciate it. Just reiterating, important numbers, turnout time from point to get call station, 2 minutes, 5 seconds. Turnout time for years, 2 minutes, 6 seconds. Average travel time to location, 5 minutes, 36 seconds. So it's a little under 8 minutes to location is very good. Chief Captain, very good written communicator. Every Friday, he puts out a written communication to key people, including myself. That way he's kind of updating the activities of the week, which, feeds into this. He's very good at, he does a lot of grant writing. Sometimes you get me, sometimes you don't. He seems to be successful there. Me and a few other presidents, very good presidents. Be one Thursday night a month. One meeting I had some conflicts, but the one meeting I went to, they had a mutual aid project up activity, which is really pretty fascinating. Think about mutual aid works. When people arrive, they may run a line to a fire hydrant and not hook it up, come up, they start doing a pumper, the next vehicle comes in, and a pumper so people first under can be up into the fire. And if they need more, they can hook it to the fire hydrant for additional water supply. And there's other people, there's EMS or EMT. So they do a lot of, as you see, mutual aid on both sides is important for all, especially in rural townships. And they get it.
We rarely have, well, we had a good fire, we had 2 good fires in January, and then second, first on the scene was, 3 of them. And Chad came in fact, Chief Dispo was the 4th person on the scene, he helped grab that. It was 400 feet from the pump. My legs were a little rubbery. Going around a corner. We actually kind of maybe a little luck involved. You need much. I'm making a comparison. City of Cleveland has 12 people right away, all responding to the fires. All full-time guys, in the fire. You have 12 people, 3 apparatus and a chief, showing up at that fire. So ours is a little different. So mutual aid is extremely important. Not only manpower, but when there's no hydrants, you get their tankers, and you might have to ask for more tankers. You get a lineup of tankers that are coming in, and we have a thing where one tanker is filling, and as soon as that was done, then the other one, it's a 2-way, it's a gated Y. So when that tanker's empty, the next one automatically starts filling, keeping the supply going. That tanker goes out, we usually find a hydrant that's pretty good, and they all go to they don't all go, but usually the same hydrant, fill up, and it's like a, big circle, they just keep coming back around. So we have enough supply. It's,
Thank you, Ted. Appreciate it.
okay, have a good night.
Yeah, thanks.
Tim, how much turnout gear weigh?
How much is it weigh?
Weigh?
It used to weigh a lot more because our tanks used to be steel.
No, I mean turnout gear that the guys wear.
Yeah, well, the tanks are part.
Well, that's
But the,
80 pounds?
no, I don't think it's 80. It may feel like 80 sometimes. It's very bulky. Because we were, it's boots, the legging, there are bunker pants, they come up to here, and then it's coats. Yeah, it's like a real heavy winter coat. From toes to, hood, everything. And then it gets wet, it gets a little heavier.
Moving on to the answer bucket.
But the tanks are,
I think it'd be good for the public to appreciate when the guys, just imagine running up and down a flight of stairs as you're dressed,
Nothing, with nothing
with
else.
nothing on. Not put on turnout gear, put your arms around a hose and haul your ass up the stairs.
when I started, we wore boots that came up to here. And coats that came down to here. And we didn't have to wear bumpers, and we didn't. They gave me a set of bumpers, they said, here, kid, that's for when it's 10 degrees out. But then about 1985 or 86, they made bumper pants mandatory. And they were so bulky, even though it's going to weather. Man, we didn't really like it. Yeah, it's the bulkiness, and you put the tank on, and it's a little restrictive. That's the way it is. I mean, we need the protection. It's so warm in there. So, that all protects us, and we just deal with it. I wish I knew the answer. I guess I don't pay much attention anymore.
I'll get you the answer.
Thanks for what you do.
Yeah,
I
thanks.
had to do it. All right. Good night, everybody.
Night.
And the only final thing on the safety report, they've been urging the Park District to give us reports on activities on Chippewa. They started, Director Nate, responded to the mayor for that, no activities. We'll see how that flows. For the future. That's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Zoning,
I have a zoning report for May, 9 Parkway Path. I, can't remember last month where we left off, and I have to apologize, I've had an extremely crazy month since then. But, I was supposed to get the bid for demolition for that. I haven't. I'm gonna have to work on it.
well, is that necessary?
I think we're gonna cut that out of the budget. We need to cut our budget, and I don't think it's necessary to tear down a house that he's paying the mortgage on and the property taxes.
All right, so then,
I've got more on that.
Oh, Alan has more.
More on, before you leave 9 Parkway Path. Last month, the question was, how much has the owner paid in fines and court costs? And in 5 cases that we've brought against the owner for condition of the property, he's paid $3,000 total in fines and $570 in court.
And he pays his mortgage, and he pays.
And he paid his mortgage, which had the balance of 79,000 and some. And the mortgage company is not interested in cleaning up the problem.
Mark, did you have a question?
Yes, on those cases, how much did the village spend to prosecute those cases so we can get them that?
I'd have to check my billings, but I can get you a figure.
If it's
Maybe.
worth it.
Well,
Hammered.
yeah,
Can't charge him more than what you find him, did you?
I don't know, probably not. Because he doesn't go to court. I mean, he pleads guilty and pays the fine and costs. You know, I do the paperwork and I show up in court, but it's not a lot in terms of legal fees.
Yeah, to me, if it's worth it, keep hammering.
Well, I heard say that we have an address for him and that people
Yeah.
have inquired about it. Has anyone from the village actually gone there? Because I understand that we have given that address to potential buyers, but has anybody just gone and tried to have a conversation with them in person, or should we not do that?
Oh, you can do that. I mean, you're not gonna hurt the village's cause, but, I haven't gone there. It's an address in Seville. He gets mail there. The mail doesn't get sent back. And, I used to talk to him on the phone a lot. He would even call me, but that stopped a couple of years ago. And, every attempt I've made to reach him, I haven't been able to, but I haven't been there. I don't know who's been. And further report, there were 2 people who had some interest in possibly buying that property. One said, no, it's too far gone. It's too much cleanup. And the other didn't return my call.
okay. So, let me ask all of you this. Can I take 9 Parkway Path off my list? I won't have to do it, I mean, it's been,
Why can't we keep taking him to court? He's paid each time.
you keep taking the court.
I can do that. I just, I don't like the idea of using him as an ATM, you know, because of his eccentricities. Because I think there's some
Eventually,
issues there.
though, the court's gonna get discussed with it.
What do you think they'll do?
Well, remember the guy over on 83 in Lodi there with the pig farm?
Yeah,
They told him he had to clean up his property and more wells, and they took him up to jail for it. And then they went in and cleaned it up.
Well, we're in a position where we can demolish the property and clean it up. We have the people done. Everybody's been notified. We could do that.
Let's go.
No. No, Mark, we don't, because it costs too much money and there's a mortgage company that's involved. They get the money first. We never see the money again.
Anybody have volunteers? I've got a sledgehammer, I've got a chainsaw. I've got all these kinds of neat tools. Let's go.
Isn't that a
Somebody to
liability?
do that to your house?
That's a problem, having private citizens do the
Let's
village.
let everybody a picture about it around here.
We'd have
Neighbor
better. Insurance company probably wouldn't like that.
And you can't go on private
The
property. and
neighbors
start that
aren't
house.
complaining either.
We can,
Okay, well then why are
We
we
can.
worried about this?
because we've given the notices. We can take it down. The village.
Well, after our budget meeting, I think it was pretty unanimous that we don't want to be, we're not spending that money.
Well, I've heard multiple, I have not seen the inside of the property, but I've heard that it's beyond repair and I've heard that it's not beyond repair. So who are we to decide?
Well, I believe the county head of the building department who said it's beyond repair. And I believe Jim, who's been in it. And I believe that, when the police went in to do a wellness check, they found that water had been running from the upstairs to the downstairs for months and months. And that it was filled with mold. That's what I haven't been in it though.
You can smell the mildewy mold smell when you walk by on the street.
I believe the experts, that's what they're there for. Everybody has an opinion.
So it's a health issue. And it's a zoning violation. Two of the reasons that I have.
Well, at some point, if it caves in or starts to fall apart and there's some exposure to the outside world from what's in there, we'll probably have to do something.
This is the first I've heard that people can smell mold when they're walking past.
Oh, no, I brought that up before. I mean, when I walk by with my dogs, you can smell it. I've mentioned that.
Have I sent you the reports on it? Do you want them?
I don't think so, yeah.
Okay. I'll do that.
When I lived in Medina, the health department condemned the house beside me because animals were going in and out of it and whatnot. And they ended up renovating it, flipped it, sold it for $300,000. Condemned doesn't mean it needs to be torn down, so I'm just clarifying.
Well, it's condemned as being unfit to live in, and it's also condemned as falling apart and being a hazard. Beyond that, you could renovate anything, I guess, if you replace every nail and board in it. I'll send you.
What did it take to get that place on, was it Rustic Brook?
Sling your shoulder.
Yeah, what did it take to get that sold? And, I mean, we find him over and over and over again.
Well, what happened was, I think it was taxes he didn't pay. And so it went up for auction, and if it goes up for a tax sale twice, the third sale is no minimum bid, and if it still isn't bid on, we can get the property. Because the law says after 3 unsuccessful attempts to sell it for taxes, we have the option of taking it, which we
But he
did.
sold it at auction. But this guy's up on his mortgage and his
Right,
taxes and
his
everything.
taxes are it's paid. If you tell me to charge him again and again and try to take his money, I'll do it. I don't feel good about something about that. Because the problem here, to put it delicately, there's a problem with a person who would let his house get to that position and then keep paying for it. A problem which goes deeper than attitude.
Well, we can always just take it off the list.
If we take it off the list though, are we setting an example in the wrong direction?
Well, nobody
I mean,
wants to
we
make a
could
move
get-
on it.
I know, but if you take it off the list and then the next person up the road starts to do the same thing, then they can come back at us and say, oh, well, that guy did it and it didn't matter. I don't think it should be, unfortunately, I know you don't want to deal with it anymore. You don't
Oh,
want to see it, you don't want to look at it. But taking it off the list and just writing it off like we're not going to do anything
I
is,
don't think it hurts to get a quote for
yeah.
demolition. I mean, but we put $15,000 in the budget, and again, I'm not comfortable tearing down a house that someone's paying for.
And I don't disagree with you there either. And I know we need to cut things in different places.
Well, I guarantee you.
It's a hard decision.
Up on the surface, trying to sell their house. They would be at this meeting every month, they'd be calling all of you, going, when are you gonna do something about my house? I'm gonna sell. I'm not gonna get the top.
But Jim, as I pointed out to you, we have not had one person from Parkway up here complaining about that house.
Well,
We complain about the house. You complain about the house. I have not seen any of the neighbors come and complain. And you know, when they get mad enough, they're gonna show up or call one of us or anything. And as far as I know, they haven't done that.
Well, I think whether you put it on the list or not, it's not gonna have any legal effect. And I also think whatever you do is temporary, because at some point, this is gonna become a public health issue. This house, and you're gonna have to do something.
Well, then you might as well keep finding them so we have a little bit more money to work with. To pay for that stuff.
You told the bank that we had a
Oh, yeah.
demolition order.
I had to serve the bank, certified mail that we're doing this, and, I've got a little stack of emails from the bank going back and forth, because they were thinking about fixing it up, because it's an investment of theirs, but they decided not to.
Did someone from the bank go there?
I'm sure.
I don't know, but I imagine, they're well aware of it, and I've got the emails to prove it.
And they probably have a fine print on their phone that says you don't work for this.
I had a case in Creston where the bank actually demolished the property, cleaned it all up at their expense because they wanted to move it as a vacant lot.
It will sell as a vacant. It's in a prime space.
Is it buildable?
There's a house on it.
Well, I don't, that's,
I don't recall what the frontage is.
I mean, the
Yeah.
footprint can be,
Rebuilt,
can
right?
be.
within 2 years, I think. If it was.
Well, there's
20.
vacant land to the east of it also. I don't know who owns that vacant land.
The homeowner that's to the east of the vacant land. Decided.
Because there used to be,
It used to be, but it's all one owner now. To the house. It used to be a resident, I think in Wadsworth.
and that house was demolished.
And that's the house you lived in when you were a kid.
That's the resident.
Okay, what else you got on your report, Jim?
I have 227 Rustic Road, the people have come in and cleaned up all the messes everywhere. That's considered corrected to me.
Yeah.
286 Briarwood Boulevard contractor, will be reworking the roof overhangs on both in order to comply with setbacks.
Now, how long is that gonna take? Because you've reported the same thing for a couple months on that one.
They were supposed to get a hold of the contractor.
Have they done that?
So get a hold of the subcontractor.
Have they done that?
Yeah, not that I've seen.
Well, maybe you should remind them.
I will remind him that the clock is ticking. 238 Circle Crest, warning notice posted for the removal of temporary structure. Hasn't been corrected yet. 354 Briarwood Boulevard, warning notice posted for the removal of temporary structure. Both of these are due, I believe, at the end of the month. Supposed to be corrected by. And 274 Rustic Brook, notice posted for high grass, been corrected. 77 Long Acre, warning notice issued for illegal temporary structure. And that's to be removed in 30 days or less.
And that was also still.
It's still there. Permits, I have 24-009, 238 Circle Crest for alterations and a deck. And 24-010, that's a typo, which I sent corrections already through your email. At 139 Heather Hedge Drive, it was a permit for,
Certainly on the 238 Circle Crest, because they're showing up on the temporary construction.
yeah, they have two little pop-ups, probably like 6 by 6. Yeah, one's got- it's got-
And Matt questioned the same thing, and Jim said these are two totally different things. So he gave them till June to correct the temporary structure. And then they got a permit for something different, so they're different.
Yeah, if the structures aren't removed, then we go after them.
How about the pain clinic on Lake? What's the status?
The what?
Pain
Oh,
clinic?
yeah. They've been working on the one next door, and they haven't done anything with it. But there was a permit drawn last year to do
And how
parking lot.
It's been a long time.
long is that in the tooth? Couple of years?
We
So,
followed.
so what do I do with that? Do I tell them you have to get more money into the project?
Maybe what we need to consider, now it's not the time to do it, but a regulation that puts a time frame on it.
Well, if we have the regulation, on the application, and on the permit, it says you have 1 year to complete this.
Well,
Probably won't hurt just to reach out to her, see what her update is.
Yeah.
or maybe have the law director send her an official notice and ask her to respond in written. What's her timeline?
Well, how about, go ahead, Leslie, reach out to her first and,
Yeah, I'll just make a personal phone call to her first, and if I can't get through to her, then we'll get business on her.
issue another permit.
If it's past the year, does she have to apply for another permit?
It was good, wasn't
Arsenal.
it? Yeah.
But
If it's past the year, does she have to apply for another
She needs to
permit?
apply again, because it's expired.
I thought they had 1 year to
1 year, yeah.
begin the work and then a year to complete it once it started. I thought that's what once it started, you have a year to start it within that year. And then once you start it, you have a year to complete it.
Right.
So if that's what I understood the zoning to be, so then she should get another permit.
She will need another one, because past the years that she started. Or that she had.
So you'll
Yeah,
contact.
I'll contact her, I'll follow up with her. So you have a couple things?
Trees.
Oh, yeah.
I checked on the tree that was across the tree, and it's all. The other ones are the right of way. $1,000.
So AJ is, asking for $1,000 for tree removal. So I think we need to make a motion for,
Are you making that motion?
I will make a motion to, for $1,000. I don't know what his company is.
Are they dead?
AJ's trees are.
Yes, they need to be removed. So we need to allocate $1,000.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
There's some along Garmin. One is actually rotted and fallen over. You guys can notice.
But it's fallen away from the road.
Away from the road. And then up on the corner, also there's some permanent stuff. So the low hanging stuff, and I told them anything that's gonna hit above, get rid of it. And then Park Lake at the bottom. On one side, there, it's been there and that's ours. And then across the road down the creek ways, there's a tree laying across the creek. That was it.
Is that ours? Because the creek itself is owned by the people that own the houses.
Mhm.
So how could it be ours?
It's on our side. The roof, everything is on our side. It's-
Okay.
Can we have them trim right by the bridge as you're coming down Park Lake? And you try to look across the bridge to see if those cars coming, all kinds of trees and stuff in the way there. Can't see unless you pull all the way out into the intersection. And that little, trees right there. I think some of it gets cleared up.
Yeah.
I had a couple people reach out to me about, the size of a sign at, 4 and 5 Bungalow Bay, a no trespassing sign. I did go up there and take a look at it, take a picture or anything. It's a very large sign that says no trespassing, and someone just commented, actually 2 people commented about the size of it. If we had a size sign ordinance,
It's in there.
so I don't know. I'll have to, I just got the second call today, so I'll have to look at it. Do you know what I'm talking about?
On Bungalow Bay?
Do you know the answer to that, Jim?
The size of it,
It's in the code.
I can look at it go.
Just seemed to me like there was another one up on Bungalow Bay a while back and we had to change it because it was big.
Okay. So we can look into that, I guess, and report back.
That's how you can find out. Yeah.
Okay. And then Gary Gretz called me this evening about 67 Bungalow Bay. He asked if I could reach out to Dr. Sinakazi to see if there was a time that I could go up there and meet with him and Bud. I guess they want to take a look at it. She wanted to be there, but their schedules don't work. And I reached out to her and I said I could be there, and she said that would be fine. So I don't know if Jim.
Did she get a drawing yet?
She did. She said she emailed it to me. The email didn't come through. She texted it to me, and it's really just a pencil sketch. So,
I don't think we didn't ask for a lot,
well,
right?
it's-
Just a,
No, I've had a conversation with Gary. He wanted to explain it to me. I explained all you need is a plot,
right? Yeah, this is not that.
and this is not that.
This is a photograph that they drew in red and just kind of scribbled where they want it to go. So, I think it needs to maybe be a little more detailed. And, Gary said that you wanted to go up and take a look at it.
I did.
And, she just asked if I could go along, so, because she is not available during the day and Gary's not available at night. So
So,
we can check our schedules or something.
Yeah, I'm generally available.
I am too.
I
just found this out this evening, so.
I told Gary, I should make sure that you have a discussion where that, because it involves village-owned property in a triangle.
It's talking.
It's also the location of a fire hydrant and a power pole, both of which would be
it
complicated
is.
to move.
That's it.
And the other issue is if we,
That's it.
as a council, decide we're gonna divest of that property, then it has to be sold at a public auction, like, unlike,
Yeah,
Alan's got a little
You're
drawing.
talking about Helen, Heidi S.
yeah,
There's the property. I've seen that.
I have seen it.
Yeah, it's very, there's a lot of village property there. Connected to it.
Yeah, Gary has an understanding of it. I didn't have this when he and I spoke. I said, it's a complicated issue,
Mhm.
and I appreciate the lady's dilemma.
right.
I frankly don't understand how she's going to accomplish the construction of a 3-car garage in a space that's allotted,
Mhm.
and I wanted to just kind of better understand.
And maybe even if we took a look at it and suggested something that she could build, I don't know, but she would like a garage. She wants to make this her permanent residence. And I mean, it is her permanent residence.
I understand her circumstances, James.
Right. So,
So,
and if the village does have interest in that parcel, then I think she feels like maybe they should take care of it then, because she's been taking care of it. And even when they came and redid all the blacktop, they didn't do that little loop there that they own. I don't know, but she doesn't want them to. She wants to build a garage and she wants to buy it at auction if that's what happens.
why don't we start with you and I going up and
That'd be
Okay.
great.
There's quite a few places in the village where there's little triangle sections of property that the village owns that local residents maintain.
Not quite like this situation,
Well,
I don't think, but
I mean, it looks like she put some mulch around there recently.
yeah. And she probably, I think she added some gravel to the area and some other, she mows the grass, trims. Yeah.
Looking and talking is good done.
Yeah.
I know. Water, she does not maintain that on a regular basis. That's my personal opinion. I see it twice a week during the summer,
Now, maybe she's just started doing that, but
but it's up until this point, no.
Who does the maintenance up there? Do you do that, Jen?
no, nobody seems to pay attention to that except him.
Right.
We do.
No.
That area.
Nobody.
That area is what? What'd you say?
That area.
It belongs to village.
He said they take care of the leaves and stuff, is what he said.
You don't mow it? Was there anything to mow there or is it?
I mean,
So Tom does it, so in other words, the people we pay to mow for the village take care of
yes,
that.
ma'am,
Just not you personally, but Tom.
we do take care.
Okay.
My guess is someday, long goes, and look, I guess you could park and look out at the lake. I can't imagine any other purpose for it.
Yeah.
Well, we did own a lot of that up there and it was a very small cottage for years. So,
The last month's minutes that Alan was gonna look into some court cases regarding the property. Did you have?
I found nothing in my. You know, there was a dispute about parking at one point, but I can't find it. It never went to court.
it went to something.
So, yeah, it went to,
Not
I'm
court,
sorry. I'm sorry.
Well, and so when Heidi was at the meeting and all those things were discussed, she did call me and say, I don't know how any of that's relevant. I just want to know if I can build a garage. She's like, can somebody just look at it and tell me? She said, I don't care about the past. I wasn't here.
Right.
I just need to know who owns what can I do? I just want to build a garage. So,
Well, who owns what is, you know, in the auditors.
Right.
Tax caps and, it's like a tough geometry problem to figure out how to build a garage.
right.
Oh, question, does anybody know how far over on the lakeside it goes? Like how far over does the village own or does Heidi own? Does anybody
I
know?
can show you a diagram.
Mean down the hillside? I think, that we own it.
I wonder.
The path is off.
And the land in, next to the path between there and Longacre. Real net too. She goes up to, I want to say the wall, but I guess the wall isn't right there.
I tried,
So that would start
I
that.
try to keep the conversation.
Because the Randy Baird one cut trees down, time, not him, so it's
Right, yeah.
us.
Let me make a copy of that.
So once you guys go up there, maybe get a drawing so it can be understood better what you want to do.
Well, yeah, Mike. The advice. Don't spend $2,000.
We told her to make it simple. Yes, she made it too simple. Okay, do we have anything else for zoning?
No.
Okay, then we're gonna go on to community relations.
Oh, boy.
Sorry. It's quick, simple, easy stuff. First thing, I've got the newsletter has been sent to the printer. So if you forgot, you didn't get to me, sorry, it was too late, I waited long enough. I'm hoping to have that by the middle of the week this week to hopefully get it out. I do have, the Garden Club plant sale in it, but I figured just in case the newsletter isn't distributed by Thursday or Friday, let everybody know, the plant sale for the garden club is this week, Saturday, at Chippewa on Lake Road between 9 and 1, I believe, if anybody is interested in that. I'm working on the kids event in June, also working on the movie night. I want to do a movie night the weekend of the 7th or the 8th, because I didn't see that there was a 4-tracker scheduled for that weekend. I want to make it June 7th, and I want the rain date to be June 8th. If anybody has something going on at the park that I don't know about, please let me know so I can rearrange the date, schedule, time, that kind of stuff.
Let me know as soon as possible, because right now the power is shut off.
Oh,
So, and I wasn't gonna have that turned on until we were gonna start using it. I pay for it,
I
So I-
understand that completely.
so.
Well, June is my goal to
Okay.
get those movies. I figure weather should be nice enough in June. The nights right now are still kind of cold, although we've had some amazingly gorgeous days, and I've got a lot of stuff done during the day. I'm sure everybody else has too. The nights are still chilly, and I don't think anybody wants to sit out there at this time of year and freeze.
So you're gonna have that turned on by,
I mean, that Monday after, or the Tuesday after Memorial Day. I mean, that's.
you should start getting on them now, but when they delay and everything, they'll be here by
Yeah,
July.
they're usually pretty quick once I report it. They're pretty good about turning it on or off. So, the power, I do believe the power at the beach is also turned off concurrently. So again, if we're not gonna use it until, when's the first time? What is it, for the 4th of July?
For the power there?
No, they got stuff going before that. The ski team's got that learn to ski.
But do they use it?
Yeah. Yeah, they
Okay,
use
well,
it, get it turned on
Okay, I
Memorial
just,
Day.
I'm over.
And
I
just
didn't want,
keep it on
now
for
that
the
we
season.
can turn that on and off and do that, no sense in paying for it if we're not using it.
We've been screwing around that, just get it
I'll
up.
get it turned on. I'll do that.
Do we have a lockbox on that so it can be not
On,
stolen?
there's currently a lock on the one at the beach, and I have not put a lock on the ones at Point Park because there's no power to it. So I have locks, but I haven't put them on there yet.
But there will be.
Yes, and I'll get you the combination.
Okay, thank you, appreciate it. Weekend of June 22nd is when I want to do my first kids event. I'm hoping to do the field day again like I did last year. If I'm hoping to get some help.
Better start freezing their t-shirts now.
Huh?
They were overflowing last year, so we did.
They still love it. So I would like to do that again, and I am shooting for June 22nd for that date for that first kids event of the season. Somebody had messaged Ken and asked about the water party in August. It's really, really far in advance for that, but I figured I would mention it. It is either going to be the 3rd or the 10th because that's when before school starts. Doing it after school starts, all the grandkids, all the things, they're not here as often. So I like to do it earlier in August. The last thing that I want to briefly touch base on is I do know that there will be 4-trackers again this year. I know everybody enjoyed them. And there's going to be an entire list right now floating around Facebook if anybody has seen it. So watch the social media pages for dates and times and locations for those 4-trackers again. And I did call the health department today about the tabs in the sewers, and they have not called me back. Because I'm pretty sure that meeting is coming on.
Okay,
Okay, and that's all I have today. So it wasn't too painful.
good job.
Kim, did Lafayette Township reach out to you about doing
Yes.
joint movie night?
And I called back and no one has responded to me. I left a message. I left a voicemail.
Okay, anything else for community relations?
No.
Pam, welcome back, Pam. You should be full of announcements.
We have the golf cart parade is coming up on the Sunday before Memorial Day, and the ice cream social to follow, free. So that's our first of our events.
Now, Sunday before Memorial Day, that takes electric. Don't you use electric on that one? You have your popcorn machines and all.
No, no, we do, yeah, so no.
Just ice cream.
But I.
Oh, the golf cart parade. I'm sorry. I was thinking about the other one. I was thinking about the little golf cart.
Follow them, I'll follow them. I'll follow them tomorrow morning. After I get done swimming.
Yes, you do tonight.
I know it sounds weird, but just in case they take a long time. That's it? No pot party? Nothing?
Oh, well, the pop party is coming up, yes, and I'm gonna send out a message about that. That is the week, again, before Memorial Day on that Wednesday. And, we'll be planting all the pots. It's been a fiasco this year. Cindy and I have been working all winter trying to get flowers ordered because our greenhouse closed that we've been going to, and to find another greenhouse has been a nightmare. So the one we found is clear up in Middlefield. We're having to have the flowers delivered. It's just a mess, but we got it for this year. We're still fishing around trying to find the right one. We like the Vista series of the bubble gum, and they're not growing the proven winners because they're too expensive on the smaller greenhouses. And so you can't find them that are growing.
You ever asked for it?
We've talked to her, but again, the prices are just not good.
Richardson's also had proven winners out there.
Richardson said they were not growing any proven winners. Did you see proven winners, really?
The buckets that said proven winners on them, I'm pretty sure.
Were they the little 4.5 inch?
I think so.
Okay, I'm going over there tomorrow, so I haven't been over there, but Cindy went over there and they said they were not.
As a matter of fact, I'll look when I get home because I bought a whole bunch of. But I'm pretty sure they said.
And maybe it's just a variety that they're not doing.
Yeah.
Proven winners have just priced themselves out of the realm for small greenhouses to be able to afford to grow them. And then they have to charge you $6 a pot, which is absolutely ridiculous.
Bishop's got proven winners, $3.75.
I know, and I am gonna go, that's my other one I want to tomorrow. Just check out. So.
Okay. Move on to buildings and utilities, Barb.
Okay, so, you had forwarded me, an email from a company that was soliciting to put up, LED lights throughout the village and maintain all that. And I contacted them and they said, no. And
They said no. We were gonna say no.
I told them, I said, we cannot put anything on Ohio Edison poles. And we're getting free LED lights from them anyways, whenever one burns out. So unless you're telling me that you're gonna come in here and do this for free, it's not in our budget. So unless you got some other information, call me back, and never heard from them. So I'm assuming that they wanted a couple of $100,000.
Absolutely.
So, and then, you had forwarded me the email from Ohio Edison regarding the rate increases. And this is really pretty interesting, but, I was gonna print copies for everybody. I should have just forwarded the email to everybody, but Ohio Edison is filing an application, and I don't know, Alan, you can do anything about this or not, as far as like an objection or anything. They're filing an application with PUCO to adjust the base distribution rates for all Ohio Edison, First Energy, and I think they're even doing this in Pennsylvania, because I got a letter from them for some property in Pennsylvania. So Toledo Edison, they're doing this all over the place, I think, with those companies. Details, if you want to get information about the application that they filed, you can get a copy of the proposed tariff schedules and rates. You can get it online, or you can contact them directly and they'll send you a hard copy or a compact disc of it. I can forward that email to Alan. I don't know if you've seen that yet or not. I did forward the email to Mark Crosby, and his response was.
We sent it right to him because of.
He's the one that would know.
Well, I did send this information to him, and he said to ask the Ohio Edison rep for clarification and explanation of it. it seems like it's pretty straightforward that they're filing this application. It has 4 or 5 pages attached with all the rate changes that they got included in this. His second suggestion was to ask Alan Michelson to file an objection with the PUCO on behalf of the village. Ask Alan Robbins if there's anything that NOPEC can do regarding this, which.
Yeah, well, NOPEC has been obeying to PUCO issues, so.
But these are streetlights involved. I don't think NOPEC can do streetlights, right? Because again, it's a
And if it's a general, PUCO issue, NOPEC's a good fighter.
See, this email said elected officials. This is for, the community use. So all the streetlights are in there. Or Barb will tell you about the streetlights.
Yeah, Barb, if you can forward that.
Yeah, I'll just give you guys a little bit of a breakdown of some of the stuff that they, that they are proposing and, regarding even our, the cost of our streetlights, which I think is interesting. And the fourth thing that Mark had suggested was whether or not, Leslie, with all your Facebook campaigning things that you can do, whether or not we could get something, on Facebook or with the Gazette, to bring that to the forefront for people to find out about it. I'm not sure that as a resident, I don't know that if there's anything that we could do about it individually, but this is going to affect everybody everybody, because Ohio Edison's our provider. So even just looking at this, see if I can bring this up without going into too much detail. All right, so from what I looked at it, just a brief breakdown. So some of the poles in the village have the light poles. Some of them have high pressure sodium, some of them have mercury vapor lights. And then anything in the village that fails, including the new LED lights, if a photo sensor, fails on it, they're replacing that for free at no charge to the village. And again, we're not saving any money in the village. We're still getting paid, charged the same amount for electricity for those poles. They charge a flat rate, even though the LEDs cost less. But the new rate for a mercury vapor light, when they raise these tariffs, these rates, will be $695. 100%, 100-watt high pressure sodium light would be $723 per pole per light. And then the price for a 30-watt LED is $737. So they're charging more for an LED light than they are for high pressure or mercury vapor light, which does not, here we are getting free lights from Ohio Edison. And I don't know if this is just their way to recoup some of the money that they're losing, but which they're really not losing any money, but they're charging $737 for an LED light. So all these new LED light poles that we have in the village are going to get charged a higher rate than the old mercury vapor and high pressure sodium lights.
Do we have any mercury vapor left?
I don't know, but I'm just saying that anything that isn't in the village that's what the new rate's going to be. I don't know individually, each of the individual lights. So, but it's,
Don't come and take them all down.
We talked about that before, taking some of them down.
Well, you almost would think, okay, so the fact that we're not getting charged to replace the light, and they cost about $200 a piece when they put a new LED light up. So just right here on Briarwood Boulevard, and again, I reported one on Garmin. They fixed the one on Briarwood, but not the one on Garmin yet. But there's one pole that has a light on each side. And one was replaced a while ago. The other one burned down on the other side. They came in, bless you. They replaced it, and there was no charge to the village for that. But it does, at some point in time, when every high pressure sodium light in the village is dead, and they've replaced it with an LED, you would think that that would be a significant savings for the village because it's not using as much electricity. And that's not the case. That's not what's happening here. Especially with these new rates that I have old rates and what they're all going up by like $1, $1.25 per light. But they're increasing the rate for the LED, which should be an energy savings rate reduction, but it's not. So I don't know if they're just trying to recoup their cost for all the free lights.
They're doing that in about a year or so, right?
2025. So, I'll forward that to you. You can look at it. I'll forward it to everybody so you can have it and review the
Yeah,
rates.
recent.
Mark, just a
And you do want
clarification,
to file,
the numbers you gave me,
right?
695, 723, 737. Is that the new rate or is that the existing?
That will be the new rate. And I mean, it has it on here. So.
If I understand his answer.
Company-owned high-pressure wood pole. So currently, like 100-watt high-pressure sodium is currently $6.04 per light, and that rate is going up to $7.23.
And you love that.
A mercury vapor, if we have any of those, 100-watt is $5.81. That's going up to $6.95. And then the LED is on here. And this is crazy.
The only way you're gonna know effectively what the impact is, I don't know what kind of breakout you have, Gary, relative to your utility expenses. Oh, would be to a line item evaluation. But as I look through what I have in front of me, the increases are substantial.
Yep, because, okay, so for the LEDs, there's, for a 30-watt, which the majority of the lights that are being replaced in the village are 30 watts, unless it's at a major intersection, then we're going with a, I believe, a 50 or a 90. But currently, there is no charge for the LED 30 watts, and that's going to $7.37.
How many are?
Oh, there's well over 25 now. I have a spreadsheet at home that has a list of all the poles that have been converted. Counting we paid for the initial, I think, 12 or 15 lights along each side that we paid for with, I think, NOPEC money. And then just through the years, and they kind of accidentally even put a few up on Chippewa Road, which are on the north side of the road, which are technically Lafayette Township, but the linemen didn't realize that and they put a, so I knew, but they didn't. I just told them the light was on.
Breakout line, or is it just a bulk?
What's that?
No, I don't have it with me.
But you do have it.
For the breakout of the lights for each pole?
Yeah.
Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, I think
Should be on the invoices.
I think
The bill, you have a copy of the bill there. They do not separate on there showing like LEDs,
no, it's
high
a
pressure sodiums. They
No.
just say X number of streetlights or this
Yeah.
much money.
number of poles, and as if I understood it correctly, for certain months of the year, we got billed for X number of hours per day, like in the winter, it was more hours, and whether the light's working or not, whether it's a LED or high pressure sodium, they're just billing us 10 hours from October to.
They do have some little separation on there, but
I mean, like what you
Can
just
we,
said,
can we ask them for itemized listing? Breakout.
do you want me to contact Leslie for that, or do you want to do it here?
oh, you can do it.
Yeah, I've been having discussions with her, otherwise I will.
Okay, yeah, I'll include that, I'll email her about it.
Thank you.
Yeah, so, but even like just what you even said, which, what are the lights that they're billing us for with the tennis courts when we've just been informed that that's not even, that we should not be getting billed for that flagpole at all. So I don't know what those lights are, so I'll ask her what that billing is for clarification on that.
I did some quick math that on the two prices I've worked on in Europe, about 19.6, 19.7%.
Increase.
Previous.
We're not gonna know what the hell we're talking about until we have an itemized listing, compare an apple to an apple. And the only way you're gonna get a handle on it, painful as it is get an itemized listing, what they charge per unit, per what we have, and do the comparison, looking at the rate increase to anticipate what the cost is gonna be.
Well, I have a feeling that currently it is anything that is on a wood pole that is a high pressure sodium, depending on what the wattage is, it's currently $6.73 per light. If it's on a wood pole, which I do believe everything in the village is a wood pole, so it's $6.37 per light. And then like back here, we have a couple floodlights. There's, I think, a street light back by the garden, the regular street light. Actually, it should be an LED, or they fixed it because it wasn't blinking on and off. But, so they're just, it doesn't matter right now. They're just charging us $6.37 per light, whether it's LED or not. So then we're gonna get charged more for an LED in the future. But again,
That a sidebar. It's gonna affect everything that they're charging.
right,
Base rate, hourly rate, etc.
right.
Design it.
But again, I don't know if they would have a breakdown of that right now,
Which we did.
For
because
sure.
but this is breaking it down depending on, they're gonna add that LED fixture into the mix.
Barb, I think Gary should get you a copy, a couple of these bills, especially the
Okay.
streetlight ones, because there is some kind of odd breakdown. But they designed it so you can't really figure out what's what.
Okay,
And that's why, in cases like this, it's good to get Mark Rossi involved,
well,
because he seems to understand it.
I did. right.
And I know you understand it too. And yes,
And that was his.
but I think Gary should give you a couple of these bills, and you can see all these differences that they put on. It's hard to figure out.
Yeah.
Exactly, but they do itemize those streetlights a little bit,
Okay,
but not an easy way, so you can figure out which ones are talking about.
okay,
So then you can kind of work on that.
all right. Well,
Got anything else?
Yeah. Hey, Bill, I did replace the flag at the tennis courts. Just for you. I will contact the sanitary engineers as well to turn the water back on at Bungalow Bay and Briarwood Boulevard. And as of right now, as of our financial meeting the other night, there will be no installation of a pole or a light at Point Park that we can operate. That was gonna come in somewhere between $7,000 and $10,000. So we're not gonna do that unless there's some way that we can carry over, if NOPEC would allow us to carry over money from year to year so that we can build up, so we can have that project.
Yeah, 2 years to use it.
Right, but I mean, the $1,300, whatever, from 1 year, maybe another 13, that's still not enough to cover it. So if they'll allow us to,
They do have other programs.
yeah,
I'll try and, when you send me the stuff about the Ohio, I'll forward it to Doug Otto, and then I'll ask him for other programs.
Hey, he's got a new job. There's a new person. Did you get that email?
No.
They got promoted and there's a woman now.
No, I had no. I saw him down in Columbus, back in November.
Yeah, he's not in that same spot.
Okay.
To make your life easier, when you contact a sanitary engineer, they're completely familiar with those two water turn-on locations. They should not require your presence.
sorry. Thank you. Okay, and, there has been damage, I mean, this is maybe parts, I don't know, but it was, Howard Wolf contacted me, I went up there and looked at it last night, but the, tennis court, has been damaged on the east side.
Got that taken care
That's all taken care of.
Okay, well, I'm going to, look on the cameras and
It was the village mowing.
okay.
Yeah, nobody damaged it. It was an accident happened when the grass was being mowed.
Looks like an animal chewed up.
Well, I'm just, this is what was reported to me. so
Yeah,
this is- I
the
mean,
whole story kept unfolding all day today. The more you talk to, people knew. So we did, if you
Okay,
recall,
well-
we've got extra tiles with that.
All right.
Yeah, that, we had that.
So we have the extra tiles so we can
Okay.
repair it real quick.
We had that.
I know, that's how I started out.
Yes, I got the lawnmower. All right, then I'm done.
It was us.
Yeah.
We did it.
Good result.
From when I looked at it, I kind of thought it looked like it'd been hit by a lawnmower, but I mean,
It was an animal, like a dog or something.
Yeah,
Do that.
it's very,
Yeah.
all right, well, thanks for letting me know.
Well, we gotta think
Don't
about
look like a
that.
little idiot right now. Thank you, I'm done. I'm done.
Okay,
I think you're right.
really,
I'm done.
that story went all day.
Thank you, I'm
So
done.
finally, everybody knew about it.
Appreciate it, everybody but me, thank you.
No, but
You're watching at home, I screwed up, sorry. Have a nice day, thank you, bye.
Okay, everybody, we got stop at the table having your private conversations. Now we're gonna go to parks.
Okay. Well, the beach officially opens Memorial Day weekend, Saturday, May 25th. Ann and I interviewed all the candidates for our beach attendant positions, and we're gonna have a really good crew this year. I think it's gonna be really, really good, I believe. We hired a couple extra, just to be, well, they're gonna get hired. Just to as almost on-call type people, somebody that just wanted to work a couple, maybe 1 day a week, maybe 2 days a week, but they're comfortable just being called in. So I think that'll help out a lot. We have the new hire paperwork day with Gary this Saturday, the 18th at 1, followed by our public sale for the stickers and the permits. That's going to follow directly after. And then to close out that busy Saturday, we'll be installing a community dock, a kayak launch. So that's going to be a long day, but a lot getting accomplished, and that's all going to be on the 18th. Like I said, I'll bounce back to Amber. So thus far, she's collected $1,465 for our permits and stickers, and $3,780 for the park district fees for the docking stickers, which that's great. That's so far so good. Yeah, and everything's going smoothly. No problems thus far. And Buffalo Bay Park. Now, is there a name for that park up there? Am I calling it incorrectly? Buffalo Bay Park, or what do they go by? Is there a name?
The tennis courts are all court.
Yeah. No name for it?
Well, it's called a circle park.
Circle Park, yeah.
Point Park, Circle
And I've heard it called Circle Park too, yeah. I'm calling it Buffalo Bay because that's the street up there, so. Yeah, Hubble Court. So. Well, anyway, all the benches and the playground equipment have been freshly painted. We had some gravel dumped over by where the shuffleboard rehab the shuffleboard court's going to be. Also around a couple of the other playground equipment. I think underneath the teeter totter, we had some gravel there. And as for speaking of the shuffleboard court, we decided to have the equipment kept at the beach in one of the sheds down there, or the shed. And if somebody wants to use it, they just would have to get with the beach attendant, sign it out. They're going to show their driver's license, so we know that they're a resident. And then, put a little sign out sheet, put their name on there. They'll have to bring it back before dusk. And I think that's the best way to handle it for now. I know there's some other ideas that are being kicked around.
Is there anything on there on the sign out sheet that says if it's not returned, he is responsible for recovering the cost of what it costs for us to replace it?
No, we haven't designed this sheet yet. That's a good idea. Yeah.
Not that anybody's going to do that,
Yeah,
but
they could. It's mostly, you them putting their name down, then we know what door to knock at, but that's not a bad
yeah, we
idea.
make them a sign that they are liable for the equipment they're borrowing.
Yeah, some people might get late, they're like, you know what, I'm not gonna return it tonight, I'll do it tomorrow, and then they don't do it. So yeah, and I know there's supposed to be a bocce ball set down there that I did not see, and then cornhole, and I'll look closer, I don't know if anyone knows, been in there?
No, I don't think that one was very good that was down there. We now have acquired a set of bocce balls, but, that we're donating to the, but I would really like to be able to have them right there. And, figure out some way to lock it. And we haven't discussed this yet, Andy and I.
You mean instead of having it at the beach, something, a lock
Come on,
box? or
Pam,
something.
everybody rides their golf cart. They can take their golf cart to pick this stuff up.
But they don't that you need a sign there that says where they are.
Well, that's easier. That's easy.
Yeah, but when we put up the new court, maybe put a sign up there and show where they're,
That does kill
distracting
the
people.
Friday night thing though.
That would kill it, cause dust.
Yeah, beach will be closed when they're done.
Oh, boy, they'll have to bring their own.
So in one set of bocce balls in the whole village and they'd be at the beach, or don't you guys have some of your own you bring down?
Okay.
There's always that glass box sign down there at Point
I was
Park.
just gonna say that it's always empty.
All kinds of information in there now because we're not using it for ordinances.
And where's that?
It's-
The beach?
Right by the garbage
There's
cans.
one at
Right by the
Tennessee,
bridge,
there's
sort
one
of.
at the
Oh,
beach,
okay,
there's
yeah.
one
I know there was one at the beach, but there's one at Point Park too.
I really think we should revisit putting some information in those boxes, maybe a QR code to the village website, information about where to get cornhole back, bocce ball,
Yeah,
Instead of paying top dollar to go make a sign that's gonna be permanent and it's gonna be posted in the middle of the park, we could utilize that box and it would be
We
a
could
protected
print
piece of
flyers,
paper.
laminate them, flash.
It'd be much more important.
makes sense because things might change too.
That
You know,
they
instead of
always-
having a $75 sign sitting over there,
Mhm.
we'll be hanging in someone's garage.
If a person is like a seasonal resident in the village and they want to get the shuffleboard stuff and their driver's license says Maria and not Chippewa Lake, what happened?
Well, that's kind of a one-off. I'm sure we can figure something else out, but we don't
Well,
want,
you can leave a spot for their address in Chippewa.
yeah, they can put their, right down there, trust, their name and their address, and maybe we'll match their address. But we gotta do something.
Right,
That way somebody's not coming from Brunswick, for this Brunswick people, man.
yeah, you gotta watch out for that.
They come out and say, yeah, I live right around the corner, and then they'll throw it in our truck and take it home.
That's trash.
When I was vacationing once, in California, they did bike rentals, you had to give them your photo ID. And when you returned the bicycle, you got your photo ID back.
They can do that, but I think we should kind of trust them unless something happens.
Yeah, why
Because then
don't you
you're
try it
putting-
out first?
Yeah, putting the responsibility in the beach attendant, and what if they leave, or all of a sudden the rain starts pouring down? Now they got somebody's driver's license, they're gonna leave it there. But, oh yeah, we'll see what happens. I thought about that too. That's, I mean, that's a good idea. What do we have here? Gravels, and then. With that, sign out sheet, oh, I brought a stack of our applications for the beach, I'm sorry, for stickers and permits and whatnot, and I put them over there, so if anyone needs, they're in multiple locations, but. I figured-
And they have the post office also.
Yeah, post office and online and everywhere. Mosquito spraying, I figured with we're getting a warm up here. And, I've been seeing them around, so I asked Dale to go ahead and start, but just one day a week until we see, what's going on. Cause they went up in pricing right now. Whatever it takes, man, to kill those vampires. So he's talking Thursday. That's all I have. Anyone have any questions?
Do you have any update on the sandbox? Alan, did you have a chance to look at the sandbox?
No, but it's on my agenda for next week.
Okay, good.
I did get an email from a friend, resident on Shorefield, who asked about the cornhole boards that I think I had mentioned one time, and somebody said we had it under control, but she said her son goes down there and plays on them, and he's offered to paint them. He said that they looked bad, but
They need painted?
I don't know. I haven't been down there, but, Kim
Just plain
Silly
white.
messaged me
If
and
they
said,
want to paint them, have at it, I say.
Yeah, I'm okay with that, yeah.
yeah, she said, I mean, he's a grown kid. He's in college. Yeah.
But, you know, they probably put a certain, paint on there too that makes it more, you know.
I'll get more information before I would give, I'll connect them with you. and then-
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll go down there and check it out. They're metal,
Yeah,
so they're not the best,
that would
because
be
they don't.
probably a certain type of paint on metal. So you'd-
They're like crickets.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine that. Yeah. Oh, Bill, you said?
Yeah, I'd like to go on record as saying, putting the equipment down on the beach to play the games up on the hill is a big, big mistake. Because if you don't keep them right there, people are not gonna use them. They used to use the Joanne's, that they used to use them all the time, when everything was kept in the same place. But now it's shuffleboard is gonna be down on the beach. I'm not going down on the beach to get it.
It's a short walk.
No, you misunderstood what I said,
I'm
Bill.
going down there to get it, and you can put a box right at the end of the floor. Right there, plastic box, put a lock on it, if you have to. But making me walk all the way down to the beach is not.
When did you walk in? You have your golf cart. First thing. Second thing, what I had said to you about
That is pretty steep hill.
when that first opened, people that really wanted to play, which there was quite a few, went and actually bought their own equipment. The village didn't supply any. Then finally, the village did put a set down at the shed at the beach. And I'm not sure.
I'm thinking.
Well, somebody said it's still down there, that it's almost like brand new.
Well, when I lived up there, cottage up there, I didn't know there was a set down at the beach, so maybe if there was a sign that
So
said.
that's because nobody's paid any attention to shuffleboard
Right.
for quite a while.
So
That's
we
one
need
of the
better
main things.
advertisement that this
Yeah,
equipment
there's
is
a sign
available
out.
for people to use.
And I'm not saying it's a bad idea to have a box there, but is anyone concerned that kids are gonna jump all over it and vandalize it? If you're getting, it sounds to me like you're talking about a plastic storage bin.
Yep.
I mean, I saw kids jumping on top of the train the other day.
What we can't, what we can do is, let me think about this. Yeah, because the gate key, it would have to be a separate lock. Because, we sell the gate keys and then people have boats, so we have to make sure they have a boat. What if they don't have a boat and they can't play, or they got to pay for a key?
You don't have to
Or we
have-
don't sell that key. What?
You have to have a boat to get a gate key.
Yeah,
Right, make it a rule that you don't have to have a vote to get it to the people.
We have, the
You can't
gate
have a
key, the
combination
gate key
lock.
process has
Yeah,
been
we-
around forever and we've got it perfected.
You can't put a combination lock on it because once one kid knows that combination, the entire neighborhood will know that. combination.
yeah, no, that's my concern, that's why I came up with this idea, I thought this would take care of all that.
Solution, go buy stuff.
Well, again, it's down at the beach, the beach closes when it's dark.
Nobody's played shuffleboard for 5 years, Bill, that's why it hasn't
The
happened.
beaches.
Used to happen.
Look at a sign. Mhm. I think so, but I gave it a lot of thought.
And of course, you want an awful lot of trouble, it's very nice.
And we are gonna get a nice shuffleboard and it's gonna work out, so I guess they gotta get the shuffleboard in first and then figure out about.
Yeah, and that should be installed.
What
in the
Ken's
next
saying
couple
is
weeks.
probably the best idea, having a box up there. I don't know unless somebody can come up with something. Why isn't anybody asking Keith?
We got a couple
Asking
weeks
Keith
yet.
about
Bill,
building
so-
a box of some sort.
If there had been a sign up there that said that there was a free set down at the beach, I might have walked down to the beach when I bought my cottage in there. Instead, I bought my own set. I didn't know there was a free set at the beach, so I would say first try a sign that says there's a free set at the beach, and if nobody uses it, I don't know.
Well, we got a couple weeks yet before it's gonna be completed, but yeah. Yeah, we'll figure something out. That makes sense.
A log book for signing it.
Well, yeah, log
We'll
book.
keep track of it.
Okay, got anything else?
That's it, yeah.
Okay, we'll go to streets. Bud?
The gas companies making road repairs, they're soon to be finished. Once that process has been completed, they'll do the final landscape improvement. And we should be done with the gas company. We're gonna open bids in June. Been posted for the Brook Shore project. And hopefully, money will be available come July. We'll start our project. That's all I got.
Okay, law director?
I've got two cases in,
Yeah,
I think Bud deserves the kudos for getting all of those crappy care. They did a very nice job fixing them. They've sealed them so they're not complete.
getting what fixed? I'm sorry, what did you say?
I think Bud deserves kudos for getting all of those things fixed.
Yeah.
Because he's done a wonderful job. They guard them and seal them so that they won't freeze in the wintertime and chip back out. And I think it's great. Thank you, Bud.
Thank you. Okay, law director.
okay, I've got two cases in court now for the village. One is scheduled for a change of plea to disorderly conduct on June 3rd. The other is an assault charge. There's a pretrial next week and no trial date set yet. I'm afraid I have to tell you that I won't be here next month because I've got to be out of town, out of state. I'll be available up till that time to answer questions, write ordinances, do what needs to be done. Sorry. But it's, I have to go to this. Okay. Also, I have a resolution approving the county plan for the 911 system. Do we have a resolution number, Gary?
510-24.
They've been waiting for this for a while. And I haven't read the 911 plan, but I assume it's not something we can recommend changing. But my understanding is that we have to pass this 911 system. So do you want to do that?
Yeah.
Have you guys seen this? Does anybody have any questions about what you're about to vote on?
That's that email communication we've been getting.
Yeah, I did send it out
Yeah, it's been a little while.
April 18th. No, yeah, April 18th. So it's ready to go if you want a first reading.
Sure.
Resolution number 510-24, first reading by title only. A resolution approving the final plan for the Medina County countywide 911 system and declaring the same an emergency. Is there a motion to waive the second and third reading?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion to pass the resolution as an emergency.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Very good. And I have an ordinance which approves the contract for purchase of the lots at auction. So I need an ordinance number.
896-24.
896. Right, thank you. Yeah, this is required by law when property is sold by auction by the village. And after this ordinance is passed, then I'll prepare a deed. And when the auction prices are paid, I'll record the deed and give it to the buyers. So this is first reading ordinance 896-24, an ordinance accepting bids for the purchase of village lots, authorizing conveyance of said properties to the successful bidders, and declaring the same an emergency. So can I have a motion to suspend the second and third reading?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion to pass the ordinance as an emergency.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
That's all I've got.
Finance, Gary?
On Saturday, I distributed the April bank reconciliation, showing all accounts and balance. Are there any questions by council on the bank reconciliation? I have a motion approving the council to sign off on the bank reconciliation.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you. On Saturday, I delivered to council the April appropriations report for you to review and be prepared to sign off. Questions on appropriations through April? May I have a motion to approve, council signing off.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you. Reminder to council as a follow-up to our May 2nd information gathering meeting on 2024 and 2025 budgets, where I am requesting, council input by on or before May 31st. If there's going to be any budget adjustments. Otherwise, the budgeted appropriations for 2024 and 2025 will remain as originally provided to council on April 6th. As offered, I always am willing to meet one-on-one to discuss any questions or concerns about budgets. All you have to do is ask. Any questions or comments about 2024, 2025 budget? Okay. Request was made to me to issue individual departmental reports on appropriations, and I did that tonight. At each of your desks, you should have received your copy of it. This way you can see the account numbers that apply specifically to your particular chair, your department. And that's everything that you need to know relative to your account codes and the monies you have available to spend and how much is left. If you look at the monthly appropriations reports that I submit to you each Saturday before this meeting. I'm not planning on reissuing the reports I gave you tonight every month. I would expect, since you get the appropriation reports on a monthly basis already, now you can zero in on which account numbers are yours. You can mark them up like I have to every month. So I can quickly reference which accounts are for which department. But if council doesn't want to do that and they want me to issue these reports monthly, all you have to do is let me know. Okay. All right. And if you have any questions on what I did hand out to you tonight, again, feel free to ask. Alan, are we going, I think the way the sale of the properties work is we're supposed to get 10% tonight, is that correct?
I think it was balanced.
I thought it was 10% tonight and balance in 30 days.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Well,
Let me check here.
tonight or not?
What do you want, check and cash? What do you want? Either one.
Once we get it.
10% down day of sale, balance in 30 days, although you can pay right now.
Ken, for Saturday's meeting, thank you.
Yes.
I'll be bringing all of the documents that your new people need to fill out, so. Oh, and if you can distribute those info sheets that I sent to you a day or two before the regular.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you about that. Now, you sent me an email, there was 2 documents on there, but
That's right.
but it didn't include the withholdings or was one of them that document, the tax document?
Yeah, one of them, one of the information sheets was explaining tax documents that they'll be receiving.
Okay,
And the reason I wanted them to have that in advance is because they may have to talk to their parents how they should fill that out.
Okay,
Because we're not really legally able to tell them how to fill out that W-2 because we don't know their circumstances.
but they don't have that point that you're just giving them kind of tutorial.
Just a heads up.
Okay, I just want to make sure I have it. I'll make sure I get that out to them. Oh, Dan, do it.
Just a day or two before.
Okay,
So they
yeah,
have
not a
time to
problem.
talk to their parents and what have you.
Sounds good.
Okay, thank you. All right, we voted on that resolution, so that's all clear. As a reminder for NOPEC, again, we have $1,643 available, but I need to have a project before I can fill out the application. Any questions about the NOPEC grant? Okay. As a reminder, we also have the PEP grant for $1,000 for use on safety-related expenses. But again, I need to know the project that you're going to want it for. And with both of these, NOPEC and PEP, I do need the cost estimate, formal bid. If you
Are you having CPR for the beach tenants?
We're supposed to. Yeah, but it's not, it's not been, formulated yet. We just hired the kids, but they're all told that that's a requirement.
You had them at your last meeting when you had the beach tenants, but you won't be able to do that anyway this year.
Wait, what's that?
Last year when you had that meeting, like you're having Saturday with them, that's
Yep.
when you had the CPR.
No, it wasn't then. We didn't have CPR then. It was actually,
Date.
yeah, for the, because Tampa was, she
I
put
was
it
the one who
together.
coordinated the date with the fire department.
Mhm.
How many of these kids are returning though? Because those
Four.
certificates don't have, those kids don't have to do it
Yeah.
if they did it last year.
It's good for 2 years.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, there's quite a few that will need to do it.
They
And what,
had 14 apply,
yep,
so only 10.
no, 14 altogether. Yeah.
14 apply, only 10 needed. It was $65 a head from what I remember, but I will reconfirm that with the fire department.
Okay, good. And
Did
what-
you use one of these grants?
Yeah,
Yeah, we used the PEP grant, last year and year before for that.
Yeah,
So
we'll get
I
that.
would assume it would be approximately $700 if prices have not changed.
Okay, well, we ought to find something to use for the other 300, so we get the full 1,000.
yeah.
It can be shared between departments. It doesn't have to all be just one department.
We talked about a small first aid kit at the beach.
That's
Did that
what I
ever
thought. We
happen?
got that. We didn't
We
do,
did get that?
you know, I have to go down there and look through that shed. And, if not, that would be good.
And do those first aid supplies need to be replenished sitting through the winter?
Yeah, maybe. I would say probably
Can
not.
we use that money?
I don't know if we have
For safety?
I can ask.
And unless it's needed somewhere else, but if you don't.
Well, if we're gonna have the kids do the CPR course.
Yeah, we'll definitely.
The fire department does it less expensive than anyone, and they said last year it was the best class that they'd ever done because the kids were so inquisitive and so into learning. So it's definitely good use for that money. If we don't use it, we lose it. So we might as well use it somewhere, unless somebody does have something that is a better avenue for it.
That would definitely be more appropriate. I mean, if you don't use it all,
Right,
and you need to get rid of it.
Yeah,
we can put it towards something else.
Exactly.
Yeah, 100%.
Then give me a bid for the tree removal. I know the tree removal will be more than 300.
Right.
And I'll indicate that in the application.
Okay.
Okay, and can you get new pricing from fire department, please?
Yep.
Thank you. Send that to me.
Mhm.
That way I can file the application. Thank you.
One suggestion for the beach attendants, because there's still 4 on checks.
are you kidding me? From last year, huh? I guess they lose it.
Look at the scale, all our kids allow working, but just press upon the check.
That is, well, we took care of that. Yeah, Gary, he lowers the boom, hit him right in the wall.
These that are still Canadian here, they should be off.
Yes, I'll give them all.
I'm done.
Good.
And that, in the documents that you hand out to them, Ken, that comment is in there that if they lose a check, they get docked for 25, we have to reissue it.
Yeah,
So that's awesome.
that's fair.
Sorry. As of the end of April, balance in the primary checking account, $322,629.49. Money market, $198,350,786.91. Total, $628,768.62. Any questions on the April balance? Okay, that's all I have for finance.
I've got a question for Gary. Sure. Yeah, a resident asked me if it's possible that the draft council minutes can be published before the council meeting so the public can look at.
The draft copy?
Yeah, the one you give us before.
Right.
So I waited until they were approved.
Well, they're not official, they're not legal until,
So legally, we could do that?
I think you could. Yeah, as long as it's, look at it and see what's coming up.
On Facebook.
I'd say put it on the village website.
I even make a separate page for it.
Yeah, with a link.
Yeah.
Question.
I'm just passing that on.
I didn't know that.
I thought
I
we had
think
to
it
approve
is.
it.
Yeah, it's
You
not.
think it is, maybe you should find out for sure, before we do it.
Well, it's clearly a draft.
You keep saying the same.
All right, all right.
Do we need to make a resolution?
There was an ordinance.
Or we did an
I think
ordinance?
there was an ordinance.
Okay.
Okay, is there any old business? Caleb, go.
Lights until we find out what's going on with the solar lights. For the flagpoles, you want me to,
Look into that, yeah, definitely. Don't you think?
or do you want me to wait? List for.
Well, if you want to, but that bill's not gonna change.
The solar lights are in.
Right, about what that particular Ohio person. So, I mean, that's not gonna change.
Okay, so then.
They have an individual charge right for
So
whatever
then
light is
do we
on.
have Ohio Edison take those lights down?
Find out which. Find it. The bill for the flagpole lights, every month is like $264. Here's $71, and the other one's like
$193.
$193, and yet supposedly Andy's supplying the power to that.
Changed the light bulb like yesterday because it burned out. Tonight I'll put my break and make sure that it's true. But that's my.
Either way, and Barbara's talked about it too, it wasn't just my idea. But, you know, looking into solar lights for those poles, that just seems like a lot of money.
Yeah, we should look at the LED.
Because Gary's on our case to cut our expenses. iOS and Bill's always a good place to start.
But you had an LED before, that did not work, remember? You had purchased one that was on the fence, you shot at the flag, it didn't work at all.
I never put the light up.
You did it, Barb.
No,
Yeah.
Keith was messing around with those for a while.
I put
Yeah.
security cameras up, but I didn't put
That
solar lights.
was probably Keith and I.
Okay, well, that one did not work, so we kept the light on. So if we go LED.
Well, they're charging us for something up there. So I guess we gotta find out what.
Jeez.
Okay, Mark? Well, I'm sorry.
Yeah, siren report, the siren did not activate in May.
No.
For Saturday, no communication from Senator Romachek's office on funding from their grant area. Nothing's happened.
Okay, anybody else? Hold this. Mark?
Two things. There's signs coming into the village about, no soliciting without a permit. Those need changed to no soliciting. Because we have no soliciting here. And the sign at Point Park, the duct tape that was over the no motor vehicle section has come off and needs replaced.
Say that again, duct tape at Point Park?
There is on the sign, Point Park, it says no motor vehicles allowed.
Okay.
But we allow golf carts, and that's a motorized vehicle.
Oh,
So what we did was put duct tape over top of that. And it has come off and it's replaced.
okay.
I got an email today from a guy that, I think it was from England. He said there was a group of students that were gonna move into our village and they went to sell books door to door. And how to get a permit, so I just sweetly said, we don't give permits, so. Don't come. No, I didn't say that.
That's so religious.
Anyhow, if he questions you, I mean, we have no solicitation, so especially what he wanted would be under what we call no solicitations.
Well, we should probably just replace that sign. Instead of using duct tape. I don't.
Duct tape's cheaper than that sign.
Yeah.
What's that?
Duct tape's
No,
cheaper. than that sign.
Mark reads it.
Oh, it looks like.
Personally, we should treat that like a golf course. If it's rained, you don't take your golf cart. But that's me. I know there are other people here that disagree with me, so put the tape on the sign so that there's no question.
Yeah, okay, all right. And besides white duct tape. I think I might have some white duct tape. actually.
Blue sign with white letters.
Okay, it's blue. Okay.
Did you have a second thing?
I don't know if I have blue duct tape.
Let's.
I'll try that.
Speed limit sign.
Okay. Kelly?
As usual, thank you all. I have two things. Speaking of solicitors, I encountered one a week or so ago. And when I said to him, do you have a permit? And he said, yes, for the county of Medina, all of Medina County. I go, no, we don't have any soliciting here. And he was son of just a normal, he wasn't a bad guy, he was a solar salesman. So I told him he needs to solicit it somewhere else. I just want to tell you that. And the other thing I wanted to have questions on, and my father, we used to call this small potatoes, this littlest thing, but at the end of our street, there's somebody who has taken a lot of old, we call them lawn furniture and piled it up in their driveway. This is the third year he's had it in his driveway. Is there anything that we can do about that? Because it's just sitting in his driveway and it's piled up, one chair on top of another, chairs on top of tables in his driveway, right at the beach, right at beachside. Is there a zoning regulation or is there anything that we can do about that?
Aren't they usable?
They absolutely rent somewhere else because you can't sit on them on top of each other.
They're brand new. It's my understanding. We bought them at an auction. I don't know what is, they're actually sitting where he kept the dumpster for what, probably 2 years.
Dumpster.
They don't even man.
No, I didn't know that part. I know this is the third year because it's more than 2 years.
There's nothing.
All right, it's just, I told you it was small potatoes.
You were falling apart.
Yeah, they're lovely.
I actually see more concerns with the house at the opposite end of the street on the same side than I do with that, probably with the furniture.
Yeah, okay, just checking, thank you.
Pam?
No, I don't.
Bob? Pam? Dennis? Andy?
No.
Allison?
No.
You guys are boring. Glass nap?
No.
But, no, don't forget, he's already talked halfway through the meeting.
Might as well adjourn now.
Joe? Joe, did you have anything?
No. I do.
Debbie, okay.
So we cleaned up the beach on,
I was gonna say.
Friday night. Okay?
Yeah, that's good.
A couple things that we discovered was that little digger, the little green digger is dismantled. Okay, it's just literally sitting there. So if a kid sits on that,
Okay.
there's all kinds of rust. It just tips over and there's rust on the bottom of that where it's dismantled.
Is it repairable or?
I mean, if you weld or something, maybe that.
Okay.
Keep it well.
Yeah. I'll-
I just felt like that was a situation that you could avoid a cut or something, or a child falling.
I know the kids love that. I don't know why, but that's, they really like.
They do.
And you have a grandson getting about the size to want to use that, right?
Absolutely. So the porta pot is there. When we were cleaning up, there were, before we ever started, on the side of the fence near the launch ramp, there was already a huge pile of sticks and debris that had been brought, I'm sure from, as people put their rocks in. We did not pick that up. Okay, so it's still there.
Which side is it? Is
On the
it-
outside of the fence, near the launch ramp.
Okay, where that big pile was last year?
Right, so.
Okay, yeah, we're not supposed to be doing that. That's,
There's
yeah.
one started there again.
Okay.
Our trailer was inside, so we just filled our trailer with what was already there. There was quite a bit of debris on the beach this year.
Yeah,
So we did not get that.
that's okay. That's okay. It's on the radar now. I know that's a huge problem last time, it just grew, and they thought they were doing us a favor. They really weren't. They were just taking the garbage from there, putting it here, so we would have to dispose.
That's why I just want to make sure you
Yeah,
realize that we
thanks.
didn't take it because it was already there.
Responsibility is there. If it's on village property,
If it's on our, it's, yeah. the
We have to
problem is
pay
that
somebody to take it.
they're actually taking it, and, you know, one of the residents thought he was doing us a favor, and, you know, he kind of was, he was doing that, he ended up hauling it away, and, you know, we paid him to do it, but it kind of grew legs, because what they're, lake, yeah, all the lakefront, so they're taking off private property, and they're putting it on our property, and then it's our responsibility to pay to have it removed, so if you look at it that way, it's,
Sounds
really
like a
shouldn't be done.
dumping Sign is required.
we were gonna do that too, we did not.
I probably wouldn't
Yeah.
consider that dumping if I was picking up sticks or something, so that probably, sign wouldn't help with that.
I've seen people take their personal trash and put them in the trash cans and run them.
No.
Well, if you're picking up sticks on village property, you make them pile on village property.
That's good.
But if you're taking sticks from your private property, putting them on village property, that's not that.
That's what's happening.
It's all, I think it's all the labor.
Yeah.
People clean up, it looks beautiful, it's all cleaned up.
I saw it, went there today, you guys did a great job.
It's probably the same situation we had last year.
It is.
Yeah, it's kind of like that.
You know,
Can't be
that,
a great scenario, but, yeah, so few people start putting it there, then was, oh, that's where it goes, now everyone's putting it there, we gotta put a stop to it, so I gotta get it, I don't know how soon I can get a sign up there.
Put it on the Facebook page too.
Yeah,
and get it out of there so
Yeah.
that they don't think.
That's,
they need that too.
that's Leslie's, that's her lane, right?
Yeah.
Cool, appreciate that.
Anything else, Deb?
Yeah, actually, I do. Just that our winter ski is June 9th, and if you have anybody that's contemplating, tell them hurry up and sign up, because it's 40 out of 80 slots are taken already, and it only opened on May 8th. So it will fill up quickly, so if you know anybody that's kind of on the fence. And then I kind of saved you homework, because when we were sitting here, we looked up your ordinance for the vehicles that are motorized vehicles that are not cars, and it's ordinance number 59904. So you could look it up real easy and just see what kind of non-automobiles would be able to park somewhere. It's trucks you can't park a truck exceeding 15 feet other than a pickup truck or a van. Vehicle or construction equipment has a GVW greater than 11,000 pounds, and you can't put a bus there. And it says commercial trailers can be parked there no longer than 5 days within 30-day period. And motorhomes, house trailers, campers may be parked on any of the streets or property with a permit, but you can't sleep in them. And so there's a couple other things there too. So just so you know, it's very easy to find. 599.
We looked it up.
For motor vehicles, it's the description is from the ORC, so you have to go in and it says it has a motor or is strong, its own power.
Yeah.
That kind of thing is what the ORC says, so a trailer definitely is.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, right, so a boat trailer or something like that. It's pretty specific. So, That's all I have.
Thank you.
Alan?
No.
Howard?
No. Okay.
Is anybody else in that back room?
Yeah, just me.
Okay. Okay, do we have any new business? Well then, one more motion.
Please have a motion.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Hi, damn, did you want to